In this video, we're going to continue working on the character packs that Little Monk has been releasing. We're going to focus on making the character profile cards, and I am attaching mine to a thick piece of chipboard so that they kind of resemble the original product that came out from Games Workshop. And we're also going to make the character tokens that are used for randomly selecting characters when something bad happens. So let's get into this. Welcome to Solitary RPG. I have been staying busy keeping up with all the releases from Little Monk with the character packs, and I need to start making all of the cardboard components to go with them. I'm pretty much up to date. I think there was one more release, Sister of Sigmar. I still need to get that one printed out. Here are all my character books that I've made. Got the War Dancer, the Brewmeister, the Wizard. The Wizard was a really thick book, but my method still worked for it. Got the Druid, the Barbarian, the Elf, the Dwarf, and the Assassin. And I'm actually recycling one of my boxes from Escape the Dark Castle. It's a game that I did a video on about what do you do with all the boxes. Well, these all fit perfectly in this box, so I have storage for them. So what I'm going to do over the next couple days is go through my process for making these cards. This same process can be done for making the boards if you desire. It is not using glue. This is all being done with sticker sheets that I purchased from Walmart. I got a pack of these, which consist of 15 sheets, 8.5 by 11, and I believe it was $10 for the pack. And then all of the cards and everything that I'm making, I am still covering with the sticker laminate material. And the reason I'm doing that is to protect the print. My concern is over time of using it that the print will start to scratch off, so I'm still covering the print up with that. But this method is a lot easier, more attainable for everybody, and there's no glue involved, so there's no chance of the boards warping. You don't have to worry about the pattern of the grain or anything like that. So let me clear my desk and let's get started on this. To get started, we're going to make the character tokens. And mine are being kept in these quarter acrylic cases, and I bought mine from Amazon. I got like 100 of them for $7.99. They are 25 millimeters on the inside diameter, and that is almost 1 inch. And I'm using a 1-inch punch to punch out my circles. And what that will give you is pretty much just the image minusing the black ring. That's the best I could do other than trying to cut them out by hand, which would just be crazy. So it's just easier for me to use my 1-inch punch and punch them out. This is one of the empty acrylic cases. And if you just run your thumbnail, you'll find the seam at the bottom. You can just pull these apart relatively easily. And then once you got everything in, you just push them back together. So what I'm going to do is simply cut out the tokens, punch them in my punch, and then put them all back together again. Unfortunately, I can't show how I'm using this on camera because my desk is not very stable. It's got a little bit of give to it, and you really need to push down on this in order to really cut the tokens out. And if you don't get good even pressure, you can get a uneven cut, and then you're gonna have to trim them out. They make other ones. This just happens to be the one I have. But here they are cut out. So we'll just open up our acrylic case. We'll put so there's two different parts. This has a little lip that goes up, and this goes over the lip. So this, I'm gonna make it the bottom. I'm gonna put it in, and as you can tell, it doesn't quite fit because 25 millimeters is just a little shy of 1 inch. So since this is a quarter case, I'm just going to take a quarter and just flatten it to the bottom. And now it's all flat. And I'm just going to leave the quarter in there. And what I'll do is I'll take the character part, I'll put it in the top, and then we'll just sandwich this together, and there we go. This is perfect, and leaving the quarter in just gives it a little bit of weight, adds a little bit to the cost of making everything. However, now that I have these all made, I have $1.25 in character tokens. So if I need a soda when I'm playing at the store, I have some change with me at all times. But yeah, those are the character tokens. They're pretty quick, pretty easy, not that hard to make. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the other box I had from Escape the Dark Castle. This is kind of temporary hold all of my cards and everything until I am ready to get them all in Ziploc bags and give them a proper home. So the chipboard that I'm using, I get Make Market. It's sold at my local Michael's. It is basically 2mm thick chipboard. You can get whatever you have available to you, but I'm going with this because I have it readily available. I need my ruler. I like these clear rulers so I can see through everything that I'm cutting. I got a box knife. I need to change out the blade because you want a good sharp blade so you're not snagging the cardboard as you're cutting. And then we just need which character we're going to work on. So let's dive into this. All right, so now I got a good brand new sharp blade in there to cut my cardboard. And just remember, razor blades are inexpensive and it's better to change them out on a regular basis versus having problems while you're trying to cut your project out. One of the things that you're going to have to make a decision on are these little tokens. These are the power tokens that you're going to use for your wizard. You don't need to use tokens for those. You can use dice, and that's pretty much how I do it. But if you were going to actually want to make these, I would not use the thick cardstock. Trying to cut those little squares out on this thick cardstock is going to be hard. What I would recommend is a thinner cardstock, maybe 100-pound paper. Get a cereal box. Use the cereal box. Since this is sticker material, you can put it on the glossy side of a cereal box and then just cut them out by hand. That is up to you. However you play Warhammer Quest will decide how you do that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do the wizard card. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by roughly cutting out the card from the sticker paper, going about 1/4 inch around the image. We don't want to go all the way up to the image right now. So just give it a rough cut and you're good. Let's throw away our scraps. We'll set these aside for now. The way these were designed was to fold them over. What we're going to do is we're going to put the front on, then put the back on. I'm going to cut right along the line on the back side because we're going to put that on last. And then from here, all I'm going to do is stick this right on my piece of chipboard. And on the back of these, there is a cut that is in the sticker paper so that you can lay down the image and then just stick it down. So what we'll do is we'll just lay this down and then we can pull up the back half and we can continue to remove this paper, and then starting from the center and going out, we're good. All right, so now that I've got my laminate, what we're going to do is we're just going to peel this and put it right onto the image. And be careful when you're peeling the paper off of this this sheet that you're not creasing it and that you're kind of peeling it off smoothly and you're not touching it a whole lot. Like just touch the edges you know you're going to cut off, because this stuff is like, you'll collect your fingerprints and it's just real messy stuff if you're not careful. We're going to bend it in the center. We're going to touch down in the middle. and then roll out to the edges, and then just press the material down just like that, and that gives us what we're looking for. So I got my sharp razor blade, and what I'm going to do is just line up on the line, and then just real slowly and lightly make a cut, and just continue that, keeping pressure on the ruler, and just take your time. Like, this is one of those things you don't want to rush. And then once you're done, and what I'll do is I'll peel off all of the excess material so we can reuse that piece of cardboard. And we'll just continue to repeat this process until the image is cut out. But that's how I'll hold this. Try to keep it in place. And yep, you saw it shift. It does happen. This one should still be big enough to hold maybe an equipment card, so we'll hold on to that. Try to recycle as much of this cardboard or this chipboard as we can. And we're just going to go around the whole image or the card, cutting it out. So if you were doing the boards, you would just do the same thing. Just go around and cut everything out. Yeah, that's garbage because I can't reuse that little piece. And we'll do the last one here. And there you go. That's all cut out. It's got the clear protective coating on it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a black marker, and I use this Sharpie Magnum, and I'm going to color the edges. Now there will be a little bit of bleed through, but I'm okay with that because personally I'd rather have the black edges on this, and it's also going to help us when we're putting on the back, and you'll see that when we get there. But this ink takes a little bit of time to dry. So get that done. And you can see a little bit of that bleed I was talking about right up through there. It's not bad, and I like it. Like, it bled here pretty bad, but I'm okay with that. It works out good. Now for the back, we need to cut out right along the line. You can use your razor blade if you want. You can use a pair of scissors if you want. And just cut it and go. If it's not 100%, it's okay. What we are going to end up doing is trimming it after we stick it down. But you want to try to get it as accurate as you can because you're going to be putting it on the back of the card we've already created. Boom. All right. So here's the back, and it's going to look good when it's done. So the sticker sheet has breaks in the paper. So this one, there's a little break right there. So we're going to peel that off. We're going to double check to make sure we put it on the right way. We're going to hold the paper side down on the cardboard. We're going to get it lined up the way we want it, the best we can. And this takes practice. And then just hold that down on the other side. And then just start peeling off the paper, starting from the center and working your way out. And if there's any excess hanging over, like down here, you can see that excess hanging over it. It's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to put the laminate material over this, and then we're going to flip it over and we're going to trim it all out. So we're just going to roughly get our size. Again, just be careful with the paper or with the sticker material, the laminate material. Bow it in the center. Make sure you got enough material. And then just lay it down. For the back of it, you can just flip it over right away and just kind of push down on it. Now here's going to come the fun part. We got to trim all that excess off. And you don't want to start from where... it's going to be really hard for you to see this on my camera, but you can kind of see the clear. You don't want to start up here. You want to kind of start towards the top, and you're going to go in at a little bit of an angle and just cut along the corner. Cut all the way through, and then flip around and go the other way, removing the excess material. And this will trim any excess sticker paper from when we put the back on. Going into the corner, just cut, repeat the process. And I'm saving the bottom one for last because we know we're going to be trimming that up. So I'm going to try to zoom in on that bottom one because you saw so you can see that paper is overhanging slightly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the corner and we're just going to cut. And if I didn't cut it off all at once, we'll go back and we'll get it all off. It didn't cut smoothly. I got a little bit of a hang. Oh, there it goes. It did cut. It just was stuck. And yeah, it cut some of the black material off as well. That's okay. We can always go back in with a Sharpie marker and clean that all up. Okay, now I have all the cards done for both the wizard and the elf. There's two things I want to point out. First, when I was cutting out the card for the wizard, my audio started making a weird clicking noise. I noticed during editing. Don't know what happened, so all I could really do is turn everything off, turn it back on again, see if I've corrected that issue. If it continues, then obviously I probably have some sort of an issue that I'll need to look into for my microphone. And also I had to reprint the elf card out. Don't know if you noticed it in the video, but the header was printed weird. It didn't look right, so I didn't like it, so I reprinted it, and now it's where I'm happy with it. So these are all done. The tokens are done. All of the cards for the characters are on the 2mm thick chipboard, so I'm happy with those. Let's push those aside. Next thing we need to look at are these little tokens. Again, if you don't want to make these, you probably don't have to. You could probably get away with just using dice. But if you are going to make these, I would recommend using a thinner chipboard. The sticker sheet, the 8.5 by 11 sticker sheet, actually has a piece of cardboard in it. And this is what I'm going to use to make my tokens for both the wizard and the druid. This stuff is a lot thinner, a little bit more pliable, and it'll be easier to cut. It's a real simple process. We're just going to literally stick these onto this chipboard. I'm going to make long cuts to basically cut them out in a block, and then I'm going to use scissors from there to trim everything into place. But I do want to remove some of the excess, so let me get started on that. This way I can save some of the cardboard for some of the other ones, because I know the Brewmeister has tokens that I need to make, and there's a few others, I believe, that have tokens. I don't know. But let's save as much as we can. And then we're just going to peel off the backing paper. Oh, it doesn't want to peel off that easily. It wants to be stubborn. There we go. And then we're just going to, we'll just tape it, press it down right here. And then we're just going to go to town. So I'm going to start by, let me get this stuff out of my way. So we'll just make one long cut. And then I'll remove the excess paper from that. And then I can save this for the Druid or any of the other ones that I might be doing. So realistically, I'm just going to cut these out as one big block. See, and this is why you got to be real careful when holding your stuff down and using a razor blade. And that is one of the reasons why I don't think these are going to cut easily as small tokens, because trying to keep everything down can be hard. So learn from my mistakes. It's really easy to hold this down, but once you're trying to cut out just one of these little ones, it gets really hard to hold everything in place with the razor blades, like when you're cutting. There we go. And then we gotta do this last one. You know, I'm just gonna switch over to scissors from here because I had such a hell of a time cutting that last one. This chipboard or this cardboard is really thin. So just a regular pair of scissors and just start cutting. So I'm gonna edit this portion out because I don't think you need to see me cut all these tokens out, and I'll come back when I'm done. Okay, so here are all the power tokens that I cut out. And at this point, it's up to you. You know, you could go in with a Sharpie and you could blacken the edge. You could even blacken the back if you wanted to. But for what these represent in the game, I think they're fine just the way they are. I'm just going to go ahead and put them in a little Ziploc bag so that I don't have them going all over the place, and try to keep them organized as best I can. I also need to buy Ziploc bags that are bigger so that I can put all my character cards and everything in one bag and then just put them in a box, and I can just grab them when I need them. But yeah, there we go. So that is how I have been making the character cards or the profile cards and the weapons and everything, putting my character tokens in these acrylic cases and making the little tokens that go with them. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.